I have something for you.
Another gift already. Where are you keeping all this stuff? You don't even have pockets in that dress.
I don't need a pocket to carry a key.
What key?
I don't know. You could try it on any door you like. Although, I recommend you try it on that office door.
Remington's office? The tables and chairs are made out of parts of a ship, I think. Never really learned much about ships. A shipwreck? In a swamp? Does that make any sense? And why is there a cafe growing out of the side? Water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Seriously, I'm not drinking that.
Ah, yes. I heard they were sending somebody over. So you're Detective Grimoire.
At your service. Well, kind of. You're a suspect, too.
Of course, of course. Feel free to be as suspicious as you like. I won't be offended. You can call me Harper.
How did you know my name?
I can only assume I must have read about one of your many exploits. But I think you'll find the swamp to be your greatest challenge.
You mean this murder case? I'm sure I can handle it.
The swamp itself has a history that has captured many imaginations, for better or for worse. My advice to you, look to the past. It could be the way forward.
So, you sit in this boat all day and sell food to people? To tourists, I guess?
Not just the tourists, but the employees too. To anyone who is hungry or thirsty. I know everyone's favorite foods.
What are they? Oh, and is this a real shipwreck? How did it get here?
I can't expose all the secrets of the swamp. I don't want to spoil your fun.
Is there a secret to this shipwreck?
No.
You just spoiled my fun.
You'll find out there are some secrets worth keeping when you've worked here as long as I have.
Well, how long is that?
I've worked in the swamp almost as long as Mr. Remington. We knew each other for a long time.
Really? So what was his favorite food?
Mr. Remington enjoyed a specialty only I can make. The bog dog. He ate one nearly every day. A real creature of habit, that one.
It looks like a hot dog.
It's similar, but I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. I'm not serving them today.
Why not?
Yesterday I found this strange green powder in my entire supply.
Guess I'm out of luck today. Well, thanks for the information. You've been a real big help.
Wait, take this with you. If you get thirsty, it's the most popular drink in Boggy Bog. Swamp juice. Try it.
It looks like... Well, I'll try some later on.
You're in luck. That's my last bottle. A lot of swamp juice has been disappearing from my stock recently. I can only assume I must have been selling them all.
Did something strange happen at the cafe yesterday? Richard Remington left the cafe feeling ill after Harper sold him a bog dog. Harper is basically in charge of all the food and drink here in Boggy Bog. I'll have to ask him about this.
You're going to ask me about what I was doing last night.
I was going to? Were you going to tell me anything?
I was working here at the cafe in the evening, and I had a couple customers. Eventually they all left and I locked up and went home.
Do you lock away everything at night?
Not everything, just the storeroom over there.
You mean that little door on the side of the ship? Is there anything else to lock?
I leave the chairs, tables, and trash can where they are. Lifting things like that is not a job for an old man.
Don't you have anyone to help you?
Mr. Remington liked to keep us down to his skeleton stuff. There simply aren't many people who would choose to work in a place like this.
A skeleton staff? Well, that's convenient for him since...
Don't make that joke. I won't laugh. Someone made a costume to look like the creature. They must have known it would get a reaction for sure. But I wonder if they planned things to go this far.
When you're finished theorizing, I was going to show you these sketches I found in the trash can right next to your cafe.
It does seem like someone was designing a costume. A disguise, perhaps.
I don't know.
Try to think why somebody would do such a thing.
I don't know.
What could they achieve with it?
I don't know.
Not yet.
I was told Remington left the cafe looking ill last night. Since you seem to be completely in charge of all the food and drink around here, I'm afraid this is something I can't ignore.
He was an old man. His health wasn't perfect. But I'm not arguing with you. I think it is suspicious. What do you think caused it?
What do I think caused it? A bog dog he ate at the cafe gave him food poisoning.
I keep all my food locked in the storeroom when I'm not here. You think he was poisoned?
I think he was poisoned.
Poisoned by me?
The storeroom was broken into with a lockpick.
A lockpick? I've never encountered a problem like this before. But since last night, am I in a position to doubt a claim like that?
Somebody knew that Remington would eat a bog dog. He ate one every day, right?
Do you suppose this explains the missing bottles of swamp juice as well?
Someone please tell me why there's a house here. Well... I found these designs for a Boggy costume. Do you know anything about them?
You're asking me because you can tell I'm experienced with needlecraft and sew my own clothes?
No, but that's a good reason. Let's go with that.
Well, these designs look like they should have stayed where they were.
In the trash?
On paper.
Oh, how come?
Whoever drew them didn't really know what they were doing.
You would have done it differently?
Of course. I am a seamstress. There was a time when I considered sewing my craft, my livelihood.
Really?
When Richard Remington arrived in the swamp years ago, I offered him some of my handmade fabric as a peace offering. I don't think he cared much for it. Most likely he threw it away. A pointless gift from some strange woman.
I'm indoors. What a treat. Let's see. The first thing we do is put the sample of liquid into the cauldron. Then tap the faucet. And now we just have to match the color of that liquid. Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my notes. Is that the same as last time? This was the exact same liquid.
You can put that away. I can't help you with it. No, thank you. If you bring me something with liquid on it, I might be able to help you.
It's a humble gift shop wagon. Let's take a look. What on earth? This thing doesn't seem to belong here at all. It's some kind of roughly made costume head, I think. There's a strange piece of red fabric stuffed inside. 2 clues for the price of 1, I guess. It's a photo of the swamp entrance. Or it could be a painting. There's really no way to tell, you know? I'm not going to worry about how frail that wooden path looks. Nope. Sorry to interrupt. I can see that you're, hard at work.
You weren't here yesterday.
Oh, no, I only just arrived.
You're the detective, right?
I'm a detective.
So, that was your hat I saw blowing through here.
You spotted it too.
If you're good at your job, you may have realized that it's kinda dead around here. So, I generally notice magical floating detective hats. Oh, and don't worry, you look better without it.
How do you know?
Oh, I have a good imagination.
I didn't expect to see someone your age working in a place like this. But then again, I didn't expect there to be a place like this in a place like this.
I only started working here this year anyway. It's temporary. Just running the gift shop to earn a little extra money. Don't ask how I ended up here.
I'll save that question for a different day. You don't seem at home here exactly.
I hate it. This place is disgusting.
Come on, you don't think it's kind of beautiful?
You would say that. You only just got here. You'll get sick of it.
If I wasn't here, I'd be stuck in my office doing paperwork.
At least at your office, you don't have to bring spare clothes every day. It's impossible to leave this place without being covered in dirt.
Challenge accepted. When you have a moment free from your busy schedule, I need to ask you about last night.
I know, but it won't help. I worked here during the day, then left my gift shop and went home in the evening. Same as every day.
You just leave your gift shop here when you go?
No, I put it in my pocket.
Yeah, seriously though, as much as I appreciate sarcasm, I think I'd get in trouble if I wrote something like that down in my notes.
Well, look, you've noticed the gift shop has wheels and you're thinking, oh, she's pretty lazy to leave it lying around. But if you want to try pushing this thing through the swamp, be my guest. And I can't lock it up, so I just leave it here overnight. Nobody's ever stolen any of this lousy merchandise anyway. I even left my spare clothes here when I went home last night.
You left them here? By the gift shop?
Yeah, it's no big deal. They were all still here this morning. Kind of.
Kind of?
I think someone played a stupid joke, and my spare black leggings were covered in some disgusting swamp slime when I found them in the bag this morning. If you're going to take my clothes and mess them up, then just keep them. I don't want them back. You know what I mean?
I absolutely do. I have a theory that the murderer was wearing a costume, a homemade outfit designed to look like the swamp creature.
I've never seen anything so ridiculous. You've never seen me in that.
I know it's not exactly the latest fashion, but...
No, you'd never see me in that. It would cover me up entirely.
That's the point of a disguise?
Look, detective. When you have legs like mine, you don't want to be wearing disguises.
Is that why you always wear those black leggings?
You've only just met me and you're making assumptions about what I always wear.
And making assumptions is the fun part of being a detective.
Well, you're right. I always wear these.
You've arrived at a bad time, my friend. For once, they don't actually want tourists walking around this place.
I always arrive at a bad time. It's what I do. I'm a detective, not a tourist.
My apologies. It's just you have the same wide-eyed expression as the kids that come here. Running around, spending their parents' money, you know.
Well, it's not every day I visit a swamp full of such unique specimens.
It's no problem. You're just thinking what we all thought when we arrived for the first time.
Why didn't they put in a bathroom?
No, you're thinking, this place is beautiful. What a lucky man I am to be here.
I am I? Well, if you say so.
Edward Everstone, at your service.
That's a pretty cool name. Can I call you Ed?
You don't need to. Everyone just calls me Echo.
Why? Because it gives you an elevated sense of purpose?
What? No. Because I always come back. Again and again, until my job is done.
You're protesting, right?
I certainly am. And now that you're here, I'm getting you involved.
What does that mean? Yeah, I haven't got time to hold up signs for you. I'm sorry.
You simply have to hear my message and take it with you.
Go ahead. I'm all ears. Plus, I have a little notebook.
What was the first thing you felt when you saw the sign for Boggy Bog looming over you?
Well, I thought it was...
Not thought. Felt.
I felt... Well, something seemed wrong. There wouldn't be a tourist attraction in the middle of a swamp like this. There shouldn't be.
My job is done. Clearly your brain is working perfectly, Detective.
So you're against the tourist attraction? Yeah, let's see. You'd rather this area was kept as a natural habitat, right?
Right again. And that precise word, habitat. First and foremost, I'm protesting for animal rights.
Well, okay, I'm following you, but it's not like they're cutting down trees or anything like that, right?
All animals deserve the right to live in peace, and I promise you, on a normal day, this place is far from peaceful.
Are you talking about the swamp creature? About Boggy?
A creature like that. He's earned the right to be left alone. We're fools to invite ourselves into his home like this on a daily basis, assuming he's not going to mind. Assuming he'll keep to himself and let us walk around with his face on our t-shirts.
Well, I agree. I think he should be left alone. But like you said, he can probably handle himself. And if no one has even seen him in 60 years, I don't really see the problem.
Unlike you, Detective, I never had an academic calling in life. I was never even a talented artist or musician or anything. So instead, I made the decision to stand up for those who were getting a raw deal.
You come here every day?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm only going to ask you about one of those days. What were you doing yesterday evening?
I was here at my protest spot until fairly late. Then I went to get something to eat at Harper's Cafe before I...
Wait, you ate at the cafe here? Doesn't supporting the tourist attraction like that kind of go against your protest?
A man has to eat, doesn't he? I don't think the meager contributions of one person are going to keep this place afloat. Especially now.
And you're sleeping here? Doesn't it get cold at night?
Well, I came prepared, of course. I usually find myself with 1 or 2 extra layers to wear. Most of this bulk is padding, I promise you.
I'm sure it is. So you stayed here the whole night?
That's right. And I admit I may have heard some stranger than usual sounds floating around the swamp last night.
What kind of sounds?
It's impossible to say. This place fills with the most terrifying sounds at night. Hundreds of animals, some tiny, some much larger, awaken and make their own protests. Every night until the sun rises in the morning.
Insects make noises at night. Okay, I've written it down.
I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else.
What can you tell me about these designs for a costume? A Boggy costume.
It's Boggy! I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan? So you're interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well, Boggy has been in all kinds of cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should see.
But he was only discovered 60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I rounded up.
But what about his costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
The famous director, and my friend. Try showing it to somebody different. I really don't have an opinion. My apologies. You should ask someone else. Try showing it to somebody different.
I found these designs for a costume, a Boggy costume.
Aha, the legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell.
What can you tell me about these designs for a Boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiots within the viewfinder of my camera. I can assure you that.
What about your Boggy movie? Isn't that gonna be, like, a guy in a costume, or a puppet, or one of those weird robot things?
Technology has been kind to people like me. We no longer have any need for such tomfoolery. I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the confines of a computer. Much cheaper, too.
Even though I have the key, this might not be as simple as I'd hoped. This door has 2 keyholes. So, which key should I use in each one? The open window looks over the wooden planks outside. Oh, and on one side, a part of the curtain has been ripped off. I don't know what's in that jar, and I wish it wasn't in there. I'm gonna stop looking at it now. An old hunting rifle, discarded carelessly near the window. This isn't the kind of thing I can ignore. Something happened here. There are signs of a struggle between the desk and the window. Remington's desk is covered in drawings and maps and notes. It's all about Boggy. He was obsessed. An ink bottle spilled into his work. I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose. Yeesh, it's a bit of a mess. Perhaps there's something underneath those drawings. Before something caused him to spill. My dear fellow. But if only It's a letter Remington was writing. Before something caused him to spill his ink bottle. My dear fellow, I received your note 2 weeks ago, but have only recently found the time to do the appropriate research on the matter. I feel like my time in this awful swamp might finally come to a close. All due to the simple realization, the rest is obscured. What a tease. It's a note addressed to Richard Remington. The handwriting is immaculate. Richard, our man of the world, a little help is in order. We're worried that the efforts regarding our elusive little friend might be in vain. Send word when you can. The letter is signed FF. And attached is a blurry little picture. It's some kind of metallic insect. The whole thing is a mystery. I have no idea. Vincent Vanderpeer's business card. There's a couple of numbers scribbled on the back. This is the creepiest office I've ever been in. Ever. These animals. They're not... I don't recognize any of them. It's a sharp metal poker for a fireplace, hidden in the shadows. Something about those 3 prongs. I feel like I just stumbled across an incredibly important piece of evidence. Hunting memorabilia. Claws, teeth. It would be an impressive collection if it wasn't so disturbing. Hunting memorabilia. It would... This is the creepiest office I've ever been in. Ever. Photos and paintings line the wall above the fireplace. But one of the frames is empty. Wait a second. What are these pieces on the floor underneath it? This photo is ripped, but it looks important. If I can piece it together again, maybe it'll reveal a secret. This photograph, it's a young Remington, and then some other men I don't know. They're all holding rifles. Maybe I can ask Harper about it. Have I uncovered a secret in here? The hunting photo is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society. I'm getting a strong feeling that Remington might be the bad guy in this story. If he wasn't already dead, I would have loved to ask him a couple of questions. I should ask around, see if I can gather any information about his motives for being here.
Uh-huh.
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I like to let him.
What do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know. I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think Mr. Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a couple of secrets.
Like what?
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets. I'm sorry, I have not seen that before. What?
I suppose you've met with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and out of this place for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times. Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Well, that much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere, made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two. Or three. But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
Ah!
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp. If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me. Ignoring anything he didn't like.
So, what, he just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
I'm sure it says that in the brochure. Yes.
What?
You're not a bad detective.
Well, I found the photo in Remington's office. It was ripped up, though. I think he was some kind
He
of...
was a lot of things. Don't lose that picture. And show it to Mr. Harper before you leave. Why are you carrying that around with you?
I have a suspicion it may have been the murder weapon.
Really? I thought Remington was attacked by something with claws, wasn't he? I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else.
Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now. I have no idea what that is.
So what can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
I didn't have one. I think I spoke to him twice, ever. He usually seemed really busy, but more like preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Like he was thinking about something else? Something that wasn't this tourist attraction?
Who can say? What do old men think about?
What? Are you implying that I know the answer to that?
Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets? Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
A shipwreck? And what? There's a little locked door on the side of the ship here. I think it's part of the cafe.
One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details, but These men travel the world, seeking mysterious animals to hunt. They consider myths and legends to be the ultimate prey. I can't help you with that one. Sorry.
You said you knew Remington?
He and I knew each other for a long time. I came to work at his tourist attraction in the early days, when he needed help.
Well, what kept you here?
I know most people wouldn't want to work in a place like this. I actually like it here, so I was happy to oblige.
You might like it, but I still don't see why anyone would build a tourist attraction here.
Mr. Remington has his reasons. He probably had several. I don't presume to know what they all were. Even though we were friends, he had some secrets, some hobbies, that I was happy to let him keep secret.
Secrets? Hobbies? A secret hobby?
He was a man with a dream, I can tell you that much.
There's a book on the table. I think it's a book about flowers. How fascinating. I must take some time to read it. Let's see. First thing we do is put the sample of liquid into the cauldron. Then tap the faucet. And now, we just have to match the color of that liquid with these ingredients. Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my notes. What's going on here? That was definitely the same as the other tests.
I recognize some of those men. Unfortunately, they've hunted in the swamp before.
Before it became a protected area?
Before that, yes, and one of them after that.
This is a 60-year-old journal. It was on display in a museum.
I know what it is.
I thought you might. I'm supposed to look to the past, right? Richard Remington founded Boggy Bog when the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago. Oh, that doesn't make sense, does it? Lady Weybridge was living in the swamp when the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago. Lady Weybridge. She was living here when Boggy was first discovered by the explorer. You've been here so long, you must have crossed paths with Remington a few times. What did you think of him?
That man was a threat to the swamp. We'll be better off without him. Hopefully the curtain will fall on his little tourist attraction as well.
Better off? With a killer on the loose now?
There have been murderers loose in the swamp before.
What are you talking about?
In my time here, I've seen the swamp invaded by men. By hunters. Several times. They're relentless.
What were they hunting? Wait, what about Boggy? Is that why no one has seen him in 60 years?
They always fell short of their ultimate goal. That just meant they came back again and again, doing more harm each time.
But this area is protected by law, right?
It is now, but some men have no respect for laws, of any kind. They tried to get me to leave my home here. I stood my ground.
Obviously. But this whole area is a tourist attraction now. I doubt Remington would have allowed anyone to march into Boggy's Bog with a gun and start hunting down his main attraction. I've been looking into the history of this place.
Oh, really? Did you find anything?
Yeah. You.
You must be confused. You found me today when you barged into my house. Remember?
You were already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal? Or what, that I stole it?
You took it from the journal while it was on display in the museum. Let's think about this one again. I've been looking into the history of this place.
Oh, really? Did you find anything?
Yeah. You.
You must be confused. You found me today when you barged into my house. Remember?
You were already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal? Or what, that I stole it?
You stole it from him before he left the swamp. No, wait, that's not right, is it? I've been...
Oh, really?
Yeah. You.
You must be confused. You found me when you barged into my house. Remember?
You were already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal? Or what, that I stole it?
I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind.
It doesn't belong in a museum. It belongs here, with me. You understand?
What if I promise I'll return it after I finish clearing up this mess?
Then I'll show it to you.
Is this you? He drew you into his journal? It's beautiful.
60 years ago, yes. He left the page with me. We agreed the rest of the world would manage without it.
I think there's something on the back. What's this?
So,
Aha! The great detective returns. Did you run out of ideas? Need a little push in the right direction?
No need to push me, but the direction would help.
Like it or not, I'm here to help you.
I get it. You give me a map, then you magically disappear and hide behind a tree for an hour. You want me to be impressed?
Did you talk to all the suspects yet?
I'm working on it. You can't rush these things, you know.
Have you noticed anything unusual?
I notice that this is going to take longer than I originally planned, and I'm getting the feeling that I wasn't wrong about this tourist attraction.
What do you mean?
I had a hard time believing there could be a place like this here in a dark corner of a swamp. It didn't make sense, and it still doesn't.
Some things don't make sense straight away. You need to look a little closer.
At what? The mud? The water? The trees?
Nope. They've been here for years, and they're not to blame. They belong here.
She's gone again. Hiding in a bush, no doubt. I wonder if she'll ever tell me something I can actually understand. The water's clear here. I can see my reflection in it. Not bad.
So, well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character.
I found these designs for a Boggy costume.
Oh, some ridiculous new merchandise for tourists to waste their money on.
No, I believe the murderer was dressed like this last night when they attacked Remington.
If they were trying to scare him out of the swamp, they should have spent more time making an accurate design.
What do you mean?
Well, this design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. It simply hasn't been researched properly.
What's wrong with it?
Well, those flippers? Pure guesswork. Nothing but foolish imagination. Nobody knows what Boggy's feet look like. No footprint has ever been recorded.
So tell me, Special Agent Folder, how would you do a better job researching it if nothing has ever been recorded?
Oh, well, that's, it's all a matter of taking the time to... It's just that... But there's no way anyone would believe... Nothing but foolishness. Guesswork. Nobody can know what Boggy's feet look like. It's his greatest secret. I've never seen that before, and I never want to see it again. So, you found it. I wonder who else knows about it. I have no interest in something like that. Obviously. You're wasting your precious time, Detective.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Richard Remington?
We didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one. But look, all I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's history that he never wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you sniffing around this museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest. And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building. He knows that. We both know that.
Why not? It was part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. The real swamp creature had claws, 3 on each hand to be precise. Why does the costume just have these pathetic fins instead? Is that the missing page of the journal?
I think so.
It's an important artifact. It belongs in a museum.
Yeah, you're not wearing the right hat to be saying that.
So, I've never seen that before, and I never want to see it again. This file goes over some basic differences between the genuine creature and the cartoon character. It's nothing more than a basic overview, really. I have no interest in something like that. Obviously. You're wasting your precious time, Detective.
Hey.
So,
Not suspicious.
suspicious! Oh?
Ah! This is the journal, correct? The one that man left here 60 years ago?
You seem a little unsure of the details. Shouldn't you have read up on all this stuff?
Forgive me. It's hard for me to get the image of Boggy as the lovable cartoon character out of my mind. He's just so iconic. Did you know, in 1973, he...
But you're protesting to protect the real swamp creature. The cartoon character is just some commercial byproduct, right?
Yes, of course. Show it to somebody else. No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea. Show it to somebody else. No thanks, my friend. I'm afraid I have no idea.
So,
You again. Ready with some cryptic advice, no doubt?
Don't let them take him.
Who? The murderer? That's my job. I gotta make sure that
No, the creature. Don't take him away. This place is his home.
Oh, Boggy. Hey, don't worry. I didn't really believe he could be, responsible for this mess.
You didn't?
Well, no. I don't believe he could ever hurt anyone.
So, he won't get in trouble? You won't have to leave?
Well, he's been out here for what, 60 years, hasn't he? And stayed out of trouble for that long. I have a feeling some detective isn't going to change all that in one day.
Well, in that case, he says, thank you.
There's a hollow part of the tree right at the front, but it's too dark to see inside.
Hey. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets? This was taken near the forest at the back of the swamp, correct?
Yes, I think so.
The water is really clear back there. The legs of this thing are reflected in the bottom half of the photo. It's a nice shot, actually.
A reflection? Oh, yeah, of course. A reflection in the water.
Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now. I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets? Never mind, but I left them here last night. Now they're covered in slime, and I don't want to go near them. Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now. I really don't know what to tell you. Is that one of the other suspects? They're more suspicious than me. Let's agree on that. Yeah, I have a pretty good view of him from here. Anyone supporting animal rights is okay in my book. His protest used to have a bit more energy, though. He spends more time inside his tent these days.
What's he doing in there?
I'm happy to say, I don't know.
There might be something I can ask Echo about. Echo spends less time holding the protest sign and more time in his tent. I wonder if Echo can tell me what he's been doing that's more important than his protest.
Is that your new friend? Sweet. I think the cartoon character is kind of dumb.
What about the real creature?
I've never met him.
Me neither.
I really don't know what to tell you.
I'm impressed someone managed to pitch a tent here. And I'm impressed someone would want to. It's a colorful, Boggy-themed padlock. He's staring into my soul. It should open if I set the right number.
Ah! You're asking the wrong person. You're wasting your time with that one. The murder victim.
Since last night, yeah. but he was the owner of Boggy's Bog. Did you know him?
Not personally. To be honest, I'm quite glad about it. Ah, yes, Agent Folder. A good man.
You know him?
We get on rather well, and we shared a number of views on the way things were run around here. I have nothing to say about them. He seems like a good person. He even sympathizes with my cause.
He agrees with your protest? But he works here, right? And he was friends with Remington.
I think that was the only reason he worked here. Maybe he'll see the light now and leave the swamp behind him. Maybe everyone will.
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my job to ask—
Untouched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
So, you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if it's not worth writing down, maybe it's worth hearing.
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you know? Maybe it would echo in my mind.
Look, if you take a guess and get it right, I promise not to deny it.
Let's work out why Echo was hidden away in his tent. Notebook time. You've been in your tent because it's been raining!
Why not?
I heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my job to ask—
Untouched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
So, you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if it's not worth writing down, maybe it's worth hearing.
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you know? Maybe it would echo in my mind.
Look, if you take a guess and get it right, I promise not to deny it.
Let's work out why Echo was hidden away in his tent. Notebook time. You've been in your tent, hiding from Boggy.
Why not?
I'm impressed someone managed to pitch a tent here. And I'm impressed someone would want to.
Oh?
I'm impressed someone managed. And it's a colorful, boggy-themed padlock. He's staring into my soul. It should open if I set the right number.
You should ask someone else.
You have a lot of suspects on that list. I don't know what to say. It's here a lot. I think he's been putting less effort into his protests recently, which is a shame. I think it's an admirable cause.
Do you talk to him much?
Not really. Sometimes he likes to talk, just casual conversation. He asks how business is going and what everyone likes to eat, nothing of real importance. I don't know very much about them. You have a lot of suspects on that list. I don't know what to say.
Hey.
There aren't many clues over here, unless those trees are a clue. But I don't think so. It's a humble gift shop wagon. Let's take a look. Boggy dolls, boggy toys, boggy postcards. Yeah, this stuff isn't half bad. Well, I wouldn't wear it. Maybe to sleep in, you know, not outside. Boggy dolls. It's a framed drawing of Boggy. What a shame, it's not even signed. It's a map of the swamp. Mine seems a little older than this one, though.
I can draw way better than that.
Can you show me?
There's no time. Maybe in the sequel. I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets? That is not something from my gift shop. I've never seen it before. Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now. I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets?
No thanks, my friend.
What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder?
If If you want an autograph, a plain sheet of paper will suffice, thank you.
So, I have no interest in something like that. Obviously.
The water's clear here. I can see my reflection in it. Not bad. What's this? A little blanket on a little... It makes...
You can put that away. I can't help you with it. No, thank you.
I'm indoors. What a...
You don't know everything, I'm afraid.
I have no idea what that is. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets?
There's a hollow part of the tree right at the front, but it's too dark to see inside.
Try and solve every suspect's challenge topic. If you're struggling, don't forget to present profiles and clues to people who might be interested. Oh, and hurry up. It's cold in this boat.
Ah!
Boggy is my prime suspect, you know. The creature you're trying to... protect.
Protect is the wrong word. If your suspicions were correct, we could both agree he's a creature that doesn't need protecting.
You think he might be the murderer?
I think he's a wild animal, and he wants to be left alone at any cost. You're asking the wrong person. No thanks, my friend.
That's the food I saw Mr. Remington eating at the cafe last night.
Before he got ill and rushed back to his office?
That's right.
This is going down in my notebook. It might be important.
Yes, that's my photograph, taken near the woods at the north end of Boggy's Bog. Have you tried looking there? What is it? Some evidence from last night's murder? That's great. I'm sorry I have not seen that before.
That's the path that leads back past the protest and towards the crossroads. It's a poster from the old Boggy cartoon show. Copyright MCM XXXIV. That would be 1930, 1934?
Ah! I'm afraid I have no idea.
I'm impressed someone managed to pitch a tent here. And I'm impressed someone would want to. It's a journal. I guess it belongs to Echo. Bad news. Remington is dead. I don't know what to do. Was my whole protest in vain? They'll shut this place down, sure, but I'll never know if I got through to him. That's all he's written. The tree comes straight through the middle of the house. It even has little drawers carved into it. Okay, even I'll admit, that's pretty cool. Let's see. First thing we do is put the sample of liquid into the cauldron. Then tap the faucet. And now we just have to Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my notes. The swamp slime. It's all the same. It's the exact same liquid again. There's something about that green slime. The fireplace poker found at the crime scene and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Sally's leggings. They link her with the crime scene. I'll have to ask her about it.
What?
The black leggings you found in your bag this morning. They're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
Everything in the swamp is covered in slime. What's your angle, Grimoire?
Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Costume? Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up? Besides, look at them. What do you notice?
They're loose and stretched.
That's right, someone else. Someone larger than me has worn these. They're stretched out, especially at the waist. It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their Boggy costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs. Do you want a souvenir?
Oh, yes, but only if you choose one for me.
You look like you could use something to wind up. You can take this one.
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.